you know that hypnotizing someone doesn't mean that they would be put to sleep or that they will be in such a trance that you could have them do whatever you tell them? In the movies it works like that for sure, but in real life? It doesn't. However, you could still hypnotize someone in real life, just not in the ways that movies show you. Hypnotizing someone does not make them unconscious, but their state of mind is that of someone who is highly open to suggestions or commands that the hypnotizer gives them. This is why you can use hypnotism in things such as making someone quit smoking, go on a diet, things that typically require a lot of willpower to accomplish. Amazing, isn't it? So, the question is, exactly how can you hypnotize somebody? There are 3 things you need to do in order to accomplish it. Let's go by them one by one. Getting their attention. Entering hypnosis is a state of mind where there are absolutely no distractions. You cannot hypnotize someone who is distracted. They must be in an absolute, highly focused state of concentration. In order to get to this stage, you must have someone's full attention. It helps to be in an environment where there are no distracting noises. For some people, having some white noise or static sounds in the background will help them focus more, so it's not the same for everyone. Find out what's the best way for your subject to be in a highly focused state. Once you are in the environment that your subject prefers, tell them to close their eyes. This shuts off their vision, so they won't see anything that could distract them. Without anything that could distract them, plus the only thing that they can hear is your voice, this is when you have their full and undivided attention. Once in this stage, you can move on to the next part, which is shutting off the conscious mind. Shut off the conscious mind. The conscious mind is an important aspect of our everyday lives. It's that little voice that tells us what we should do and not do. It prevents us from doing things without thinking about them first. Imagine if the conscious mind does not exist, we'd go by our lives doing whatever it is we're doing without regard for everything else. It would be total chaos. Accidents would be happening left and right since people would not think before doing something. Having said that, in order to hypnotize someone, you need to turn off their unconscious mind. This makes them very open to suggestions since the little voice that tells them to think first is shut down. The way to do this is by telling a very engaging story. Think about a movie you saw that had you captivated the whole time you were watching. You were so immersed that it didn't really matter that what you were seeing wasn't real. You just waited for the next thing to happen and didn't question anything that you were watching. Listening to an engaging story is basically the same thing. Tell a story that would stir up emotions, shock the listener, or make them anticipate what's going to happen next. This encourages them to build pictures in their minds. Once this starts to happen, their conscious mind has already started to shut off and makes it easier to proceed to the next step, which is tapping into the subconscious mind. Tap into the subconscious mind. When the conscious mind of your subject is shut off, this makes the subconscious mind unprotected of sorts. Unlike the conscious mind, the subconscious mind is not capable of making decisions. Anything you tell it to do, it will do without any discriminations. This is how hypnotizing works, tapping into the subconscious mind and giving out commands or suggestions. One example is for someone you would like to lose weight but has trouble decreasing their food intake due to overeating. The conscious mind makes the subject think about whether to eat or not since a decision must be made. When you tell the subconscious mind to always avoid eating whenever they are already full, this will be embedded into the subject's memory, and every time they are already full, they would just stop eating automatically without thinking. That is the power of having access to the subconscious and giving it suggestions. Once the subject is out of the hypnosis state, all the commands you have given to the subconscious mind will remain there. The reason is that when you gave out those commands, the conscious mind was shut off, preventing it from questioning those commands which the subconscious mind wholeheartedly accepted. As you can see, knowing how to hypnotize someone can be a very valuable skill, especially if you plan on using it to help people overcome obstacles in their lives, which requires a lot of willpower to do so. If you plan to continue to learn, or even master this skill, the key is to practice it a lot. Use the techniques with your family members and friends. The more experience you have in performing the steps, the faster you'll be able to use them on just about anything. You can sway someone's thinking just by having a simple conversation with them. It's up to you how much you want to learn this powerful skill.